So hello and welcome to the Expat Pod. My name is James, your host, and today I'm joined by Monica, who works for Move to Gothenburg. Would you like to explain to everyone where you've lived in, and I guess you're now in Gothenburg?
Yeah, hi James. Thank you for inviting me. Yes, I live in Gothenburg. I have been here for 2 years and a half. I decided to move here with my husband when he got a job in NEPS. Then actually we moved to Trollhättan, that is a town close to Gothenburg, 1 hour more or less. And it was not easy because it was during the pandemic. Then I didn't know what to do because it was super difficult in that time to think about how to get a job, visas, everything. Then this is the way that started my journey here in Sweden. And before I was living with him in Munich, and before I was living in Spain, and I am from Colombia, and he's from Poland. Then imagine. Many countries involved.
A real mix.
Yeah.
You met in Spain then, or?
Yes, exactly. We met in Spain because I was doing my PhD there. And before I was living in Colombia, in Argentina, and I decided to move to Europe because I wanted to study here. And also I wanted to have the opportunity to grow my career in Europe. And then we met each other. And he's from Poland. We are from different cultures. We were speaking in English all the time. And when he got a job here in Sweden, we decided to move. And now I am studying Swedish.
Nice. Well, it's a perfect introduction. So welcome to section 1 of the podcast, all about getting there. So Monica, you said you're originally from Colombia, and then you moved to Argentina, and then to Europe, to Spain, Germany, and Sweden. So let's start chronologically. So why the move from Colombia to Argentina?
Because I was working with victims of armed conflict in my country. I was helping doing communication strategies, and I was working as a project manager with different kind of projects that they are trying to help victims of sexual violence and another kind of violent facts that are affecting the people in my country. And then I wanted to study more about human rights, and I got a scholarship. Then I moved to Argentina, and I was doing there a master. Yeah. And then after that, I came back to Colombia, I continued working, and then I decided to move to Europe to study more and continue working. That's why I moved to Spain, and that was the moment when I met my current husband.
And whereabouts in Spain were you living?
I was living in Barcelona. Then I was trying to learn Catalan, but it's not easy. It's not easy, but I really love Spain. I was living there, studying there. And then when I met my husband and he got this opportunity in Sweden, we decided that it would be nice to move here. And and now I am living here in Sweden, in Gothenburg. And now I have the opportunity, after many things in my Swedish journey, I have the opportunity to work as a communicator and project manager in Care Connect with Ukraine, with people, refugees from Ukraine.
Nice. And that work then is obviously helping people move to Sweden from war-torn areas. That must be very difficult and hard for you to I guess, emotionally deal with. Are you able to, relax after that work? 'Cause it's obviously very hard, and that doesn't have a time limit, right? You don't clock out of that kind of work, do you?
Yeah, it's hard, but in many ways, the people that work with me is teaching me many things. For example, how to survive, how to feel comfortable, how to fight every day to get better opportunities. And many times they are laughing and they are enjoying. Then I learned that even when you are facing the worst situation, you can always get over, and you can always get up, and you can always try to be happy and try to do the things that you like. Then actually I was learning many things from the people in Colombia, and now I am learning many things from the people from Ukraine here in Sweden. That is really nice. And it's really nice because we have this exchange and the cultural differences, as you can imagine. Here in Sweden is super cold. I really miss the warm weather in my country. Now it's summer and it's raining, but it's the way that it is. You know what I mean? But many things I like, and I have the opportunity to talk with the people from Ukraine and another international talents that they are coming to International House Gothenburg to talk about what is good and what we like about to live in Sweden and what is more difficult, of course, because it's the same in every country. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's great work you're doing, and so you managed to positively influence people's lives, which must be very, fulfilling for you from a professional level and a personal level as well. Going back to like how you got to various locations, then when you said you got a scholarship to go to Argentina, when you moved to Europe, did you get help with that? Did you have to apply? What was the application like? I guess going to a Spanish-speaking country was easier for you. PhD in Spanish or English?
Yeah, this is the thing. When I was in Argentina, I was doing my master in Spanish and I got this scholarship. But when I decided to come to Europe, of course, one of the reasons that I decided to go to Spain is because of the language. And it was easier. I didn't get any help, but I was saving money and I wanted really to come here and to have this experience. And of course, because I met my husband and we speak English all the time, was a really nice opportunity for me to practice. Then it's great. And now I have the opportunity to work here in Sweden. And I think that this is really nice because it's not easy to adjust yourself to another job environment. For example, it's super different every country. And the life balance that you have here in Sweden, you don't have the same in Spain or in Colombia. Then I had to learn many things to understand how the Swedish system works. Yeah, then this is really interesting.
And going back to the kind of the moves, when you moved from Colombia, did you need anything like a visa to get to Europe, or with obviously Spain and the South American connection? Yeah.
This is a hard story because I got the student visa, and this visa is expired every 6 months in Spain, and you need to wait another 1 to 3 months to get the other visa. That was really hard, and then I was living like that 3 years, but was really, really, really difficult. And now, of course, I have the right of residence here because my husband is from Europe. Then I have this advantage that another people they don't have, because my husband is from European Union, then I can live here with this right of residence. But of course, I am working in my papers because I would like to have the residence permit. But yeah, this is difficult. The thing about the visas always is a huge challenge. Yeah.
And did you have much support with your visa? Was there like online resources or in-person resources that you could use when you were in South America to move to Europe, or was it all just your own research?
Yeah, I was researching by myself, but I have to tell you that this is something important. The people that they think about talent attraction of these kind of things, they have to think more about this kind of information that you provide to the people, because many things I didn't know. And maybe you have ideas about how is to live in Sweden, how is to live in Germany, how is to live in Spain, and it's completely different. The rules, the process, and you have to learn. And yeah, and if you want to apply, also depends on the place where you go, because it's not the same if you go in Trollhättan and if you go in Gothenburg. Depends on the institution or the organization. And there are many people that they are helping. For example, now I am working. My office is at International House Gothenburg, and here we are helping people to understand how works the Swedish system and providing guidance and everything. Then these kind of places, if you don't know, then maybe you are lost. Then you need to try to find the right information and everything. Yeah.
Amazing. And then when you, I guess, because you moved for your studies to Spain, accommodation, was that provided by the university, or did you have to go and find it? And then same with Sweden, how was the accommodation found? Was it your husband's work? Did they help with it?
No, in Spain, I didn't get any support. And here in Sweden, because of my husband got that job, then he had some recommendations about where we could stay, but it was not easy to find a place to rent first. And yes, that's why it's really important to research and everything. Sometimes when you are moving, for example, here now I know that many students, they get more support and they know how to work with this housing. They know that they have to wait. But in Spain, I didn't get any support. Then I was finding by myself and I was sharing flats and everything, but I was looking by myself. I didn't get any support from the university or something like that.
Oh, that's really quite unfortunate, because usually they're very good with that kind of thing, especially for international students, which is a shame, really. But I guess it's helped you learn a lot about Barcelona and the city and how to look. And did you look online first? Did you find any like Facebook groups and stuff before you moved?
Yes, exactly. Now, if you check, I am in Colombianos in Buenos Aires, Colombianos in Barcelona, Colombianos in Gothenburg, because always is good. I think that Facebook groups are really good, because you can find people that they are in this place for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and they can share good tips and recommendations to improve your journey. Then I think that this is really good idea, and also to check another websites in Instagram and blogs. I think that blogs are good also if you want to get more information about how to improve your journey. Yeah.
Wonderful. Do you have anything else you want to add on how you got to the many places you've got to?
No, I think that this is great. Maybe I would like to add that it's difficult to adjust yourself to different kind of food, for example, and change your habits and understand how it works in every country, and also the weather. It's really hard. Yes.
Perfect. Well, then we'll head into section 2. So welcome back to section 2 of the podcast, all about being there. Now, Monica, this is where I tend to ask my guests a bit more about their kind of first impressions of where they've lived, the main cultural differences. So with you living in so many different places, again, starting chronologically, how different was Argentina from Colombia for you?
Well, yeah, this is a good question. In Latin America, we are similar in many ways. For example, music, food, but also, for example, in Argentina, the people, in my opinion, they are more direct. They are people that they like more to protest around outside when they don't like someone or something, for example. Cultural shock also you have, because we don't have these seasons like winter, spring, summer, fall so strong. And in Argentina, I had, then the summer was super hard and also the winter. But I thought that was hard until I came to Sweden. I learned what means a strong winter. And yes, I think that basically also the personalities. I have to say that, of course, in Argentina, I didn't have this shock. But of course, in Europe, in Germany, and also here in Sweden, the people, they are different, because they are maybe more conservative, more quiet, more shy. But doesn't mean that they cannot talk with you. They can be open, but you need to learn how to approach. Yeah.
Mm. And then, interestingly, going from South America, then so you lived into kind of Spanish-speaking countries in South America. Obviously, Argentina is cold enough you can ski in the winter, I think. You can go into Spain, obviously another Spanish-speaking country, or Catalonian if you live in Barcelona. How does that differ from Latin America? Obviously, from an outsider like me, it appears to be quite a lot of similarities, but what was your thoughts? Or what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that yes, of course, we have similarities, but one of the main differences is that, of course, here in Europe, Spain is part of the European Union. Then, because of that, you get access to many things. It's easy to travel. Of course, you need to have the income for that, but it's easy to travel. You have more access to some benefits from the government. This unemployment thing, the people that they get that, or for example, maybe better depends on the country, healthcare system, or maybe better education. But I think that depends on the country. But definitely, you can say that talking about rights, education, health, I can find differences, and about also the habits that the people we have are different, but also we have common points, and especially when we talk and we exchange, we discover many things that we share, that this is really nice.
Perfect. And then as you're creeping further north in Europe, you've experienced the cold of Sweden. I guess your first or second country without your common language. What was that like? Obviously, you said your English has improved because your husband is Polish and your common language was English. Did that help you a lot before you moved to Sweden?
Yeah. Of course, did help a lot. And also here in Sweden, the people, they speak English and Swedish. And this is a difference if you ask me, thinking about my time living in Germany. I couldn't learn German.
Nine?
It's difficult, yeah. Nine. But and Polish, neither, because Polish language is even more difficult than I just know words. Then English is this common language that we have. And here in Sweden, I think that is really nice that the people, they speak English and Swedish. Then you can practice both, and you can get opportunities if you improve your language skills. Of course, if you learn Swedish better, but if you have English, it's possible to open doors. Yeah.
And I think that's one thing I've noticed, that my Swedish is not growing at all because people listen to me try and speak Swedish and go, "Oh, English is easier. I'm just going to speak English."
Yeah.
You know, British people or English-speaking first language people have always got this issue of we never learn a second language.
Yeah.
But it's hard because everyone wants to practice their English. So you're trying.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's a blessing and a curse. At least that can always be understood most of the time.
Yeah, I know. They can switch, and then you don't learn Swedish. Yes, I know.
Wonderful. And then what time of year did you move to Sweden, out of curiosity?
Was summer.
Okay. Good time to move.
Yeah, good time to move. Yeah.
And what was your first impression of the winter here?
The night was super dark and cold, and this is something windy, and this is something really hard. Yeah.
It was quite windy today as well, and it's like the middle of summer.
Yeah, I know, and it's really affecting the mood. And I can see that the people, when it's summer and it's sunny, they are smiling more, they are laughing. It's like that. But in winter, they are more sad, and I understand why. Yeah. But of course, you get used, and I like also that many people, they have different kind of activities for winter, and this is something that we don't have in my country. Then I learned about that, and I think that is really good.
On those activities, what's your kind of support mechanism for surviving a Swedish winter then? Do you ski?
Well, of course, I don't know, but I know that the people, they are doing this snowboarding and these kind of things. No, I can drink glue wine.
Oh, glühwein, yeah.
Yeah, this is a good
Plug.
So yeah, you see, this is a good one.
I actually made some with my colleagues in December, which should mature this year, so I have to come back to try it.
Exactly.
With regards to living so far away from home and different continents, how often do you go home, and how often do you speak to your family?
Yeah, I try to talk with them often and with my friends, but of course it's not easy because of the time difference. But yeah, we are super close with each other, and we can use now. We have WhatsApp, we have different kind of channels, and also I try to go for Christmas because I love Christmas in my country. It's amazing, it's the best. And then yeah, I hope to go next Christmas to visit my family and friends there. Yeah.
On Christmas, what have you found as differences between the Christmases? Obviously, it's Southern Hemisphere versus Northern Hemisphere, so it's summer for you at Christmas in Colombia, right? And in Sweden, it's 2 hours of daylight. So how's your experience of Christmas has been, or have you tend to have always gone home for Christmas?
Yeah. No, it's not all. It's of course the weather, but it's not just about the weather, but also the environment because we celebrate the whole month. It's not just one day. Then we celebrate the whole month. We have like different kind of parties before 24th, and we have also New Year's Eve. But around that, we have different kind of traditions that we do. We dance, we go to karaoke, we sing. We have different kind of activities that, of course, are making Christmas amazing. And especially even if you are working in different offices, they are doing activities, but just not one day, almost the whole month. Because you know that we have also the Catholic tradition attached. That's why we have different kind of activities, and we have candles and music, and yeah, it's great, super nice.
The month of Christmas is a great thing to have. I think we have similar, but maybe not to the same extent in the UK, where you have like several parties you go to, whether it's with your colleagues or your friends, and yeah, it lasts from as soon as you have Guy Fawkes on 5th of December. That's when Christmas starts, which is the middle of November,
Yeah, exactly the same.
But I guess for us though, it's because it's so dark and miserable that it's quite nice to have that. Whereas I'm sure for everyone in Colombia, it's the weather's already amazing, so it's more like a carnival atmosphere.
Yeah. But no, it's amazing. I didn't know that you celebrate also the same way, but we like that.
Yeah, I don't think we dance as much. It's more it's a way of of avoiding the cold and the dark.
Yes, exactly.
But that seems to be all year round in the UK. It's always a reason to go for a drink with some friends. So.
Yeah, it's super great. Yes, yeah, we have the same. Then it's a time to celebrate every day. Then I love that.
And then what was culturally like shocking for you in Sweden when you first moved? What was the thing that jumped out at you as, oh, that's a bit strange, or that's different?
Many things. For example, that you don't need cash, that you have this bank ID and you can pay everything with your cell phone or your card. This is something that, of course, we have cards and everything, but we still use cash. And then it's something that is really different, and you have different kind of apps for everything. Even if you are going to the doctor, you go first, you need to use an app. And this is something interesting because, for example, I was thinking about elderlies. If every person can manage this kind of technology here, and it is great because means like you have another kind of society when people they are really familiar with the technology, and this is great. And this was something that was surprising me. I can say positive, and also definitely the work-life balance. Yeah, that they have so many holidays and so many, yeah, this
You
is,
finish work early.
yes, exactly. And the priority is your family, your friends. If you have a dog, if you have activities, going for hiking, it's important. Your private life is super important, and your family is not just about work and work and work. And then I really like that, I have to say, because of course we don't have that, and it's something that I think that is important. Then I got surprised about that. This is something that was really good, and also the nature is beautiful here. It's really nice, and it's really clean. No pollution. I don't feel pollution here, and it's really nice. Also, that I like a lot.
That's great. And is there anything else that kind of stood out for you being in Sweden? You mentioned obviously like the fact that handling money is quite easy because it's all kind of attached to your hand. Is there anything else which stands out for you? I know housing is quite difficult. It's been difficult for me for housing. I don't know how it was like for you.
Yeah. About housing, I think that is difficult, and again, you need to understand the system, and you need to grow your networking in every way. And I mean, this is like an advice, if I can say, because if you know people, you get access to understand the housing, the education system, and of course, you are improving your possibilities to get a job. Then definitely here, I know in every country, but here is super important to have a good, to grow your network all the time. And then you get access to know, for example, if there is a flat that they are renting, if there is a room, students, friends. But when you are just first time here and you don't know anything, really bad things happen. I know people that they were paying a lot of money, Airbnb or something like that, but crazy, a lot of money because
I mean, that was me when I first moved, to be fair.
exactly.
Not paying a small amount of money.
Yeah, or you maybe you don't know the neighborhoods, and maybe you are in a place that is not the best place according to the place where you are going to work, or many things. That's why read and everything. But if you start meeting people, and it's not easy here because of course because of the weather, but always try to go and talk with people and get this information that is helping you. Yeah.
And kind of segueing on from that, then socializing in Sweden, notoriously it's quite difficult because they're very closed and reserved as a culture. How have you found it?
Yeah, honestly, it was difficult, and still I am learning Swedish. And I think that if I can speak Swedish fluent, I am going to prove my possibilities to get more friends from here. But I think that is not easy because I consider that people from Sweden, in general, they have the friends from the childhood. In my case, because I was traveling, as as I told you, I was in many places. I have friends that I met just 2 years ago, and they are super friends. And then you need to try to find the right people. I mean, when I say the right people, is maybe people where you share interests. For example, if you like hiking and you met a person from Sweden that they like the same, or you like to go to karaoke, or you want to go to a concert, then you can find these common points, and maybe you can get closer, and maybe they are going to be more open. Yeah. This is a difference because in Colombia, they just see you, hey, James, you are my best friend, just the same day. And maybe it's not going to happen, that maybe you are not going to see each other again, but we're getting close easier. In general, here you need to get to know more the people. Then one advice also is that if you find things that you like to do, find the people that they like the same, and maybe you are going to have good opportunities to meet friends.
I mean, that's a great point. For me, it was sport. So I played volleyball. And
Ah,
that's how I got friends initially in Sweden, was also how I spent a lot of my winter, because I needed to do something. So playing volleyball was a good catalyst for those kind of friendships to grow and blossom. But also using the app Meetup, they have like hiking and various different things like dance and language and writing and just going socializing for drinks and stuff. But it's a really good app to use. Yeah, it's but it has been difficult, I found. And the longer you're here, the easier it gets. And as you said, if you can learn the language a bit more, hopefully that'll open a few more doors. Because even if you're with a bunch of Swedes, they will still want to speak Swedish if you're the only person who doesn't speak Swedish.
wow.
You might find yourself a bit on the outside of the conversation.
Yeah, it's true.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that you have noted since living abroad from Colombia in anywhere?
Yeah, that I want to say that it's important in different places. In Barcelona, they have also this kind of houses like International House Gothenburg. And in Barcelona, they have also Barcelona Active and these kind of houses where you can go and meet new people and exchange tips, recommendations that you and me, we are doing, that you're from England, I am from Colombia. We are talking about our Swedish experience. Then you are telling me, no, I was doing this volleyball and whatever. And then it's really nice because sometimes you get new information from the other people. And sometimes also you have the opportunity to see that, oh my God, I am not the only one that I didn't understand why they are doing this or that. That is really good. It's really nice. Then I just would like to share that it's always good to meet people from different countries and people that they are in your situation, then they can understand you more. And because you have really nice things when you are moving to a new place, but also you have different kind of challenges. Then, yes.
Wonderful. Great. Well, I think that's a great way of ending section 2 of the podcast. Thank you. Hi, so welcome back to section 3 of the podcast, all about kind of a review. I haven't named it yet, and I should do, but it's been a while, and I still haven't found a name for it. So it's the unnamed section, I guess. But the main kind of reason for it is just to get your kind of perspective on your time so far, and main thing is advice for your younger self. So if you could go back in time to when you first moved, either to a country South America or to Europe or to the cold, what advice would you give to yourself?
Well, research more before you move. And we have this bias, we have this prejudice, and we think that if I move to Spain, then it's the warm place to stay, and then I am going to eat tapas, and maybe I don't think about another factors that are important, the kind of neighborhoods, the kind of people. For example, if you are IT sector person, you have a different kind of opportunities as if you are not. Then the first thing that I will change is I will research more every time. Research about everything, not just about how to get a job or how to get a house, about everything, how to socialize. Because definitely you don't socialize the same in Argentina that you are doing here in Sweden or in Munich or in Barcelona. And then this is something that I will do different, James, for sure.
Wonderful. And then on that, what advice would you give someone who's moving to Barcelona, for instance? What should they look for? What resources should they use?
Yeah, it's nice also when you are moving to a city that is super touristic, like Barcelona, because it's not the same when you are moving to a city that is not so touristic. But in Barcelona case, of course, you need to find the places where the real people live, the people from Barcelona, the Catalans. This is amazing. And then you have to eat the food that the locals, they eat. And then you have to discover the city, and not just the touristic perspective that is beautiful, but you have to go further and you have to discover the nice things that the local people they have, what they do. And even if you cannot speak Catalan, for example, you can go to the events that they have and you will discover really nice things. And also you have to go around. I like to go to the towns. I know that is hard because sometimes if you go to the towns, you don't get the same opportunities that you get in the capital or in the main city, but you have maybe another approach to the people. Maybe you see how they live in a different way, sometimes closer to the nature. And this is something similar because it's the same here, the people that they live outside of the city or in Barcelona or in Munich, then I think that this is important to take in account.
A more authentic experience than a manufactured one.
Yeah. And if you can go and to share with the locals, not just, of course, the touristic package is nice, but if you met the people, real people there, I love that.
Wonderful. And then what, I guess it's more of a thought in terms of what your future is. Is your future going to be in Sweden, or do you and your husband have plans to live elsewhere? Poland, perhaps, or back in Colombia? Or
I love Poland, actually, also. I think that they have the best soup ever called Lurek. But no, we don't know yet. For now, we are in Sweden. We are growing our careers here. But yes, who knows what is the next country who's going to speak for us. But for sure, I will try to do better research for my next journey. But if it's here, it's also fine. But I think that everything depends. This is another thing. Depends on your objectives, age, sector, background. If you are alone or if you move with your girlfriend, everything is you have to consider because change your journey.
This is very true. And I've noticed as you get older, you have to get a bit less selfish because usually with age has a few more kind of responsibilities, so to speak.
Yeah. And for example, many people that they have kids, they say that when you have a kid, Sweden is really great place to grow your kid. Then this is another, you have to consider different factors.
That's a very good point to mention as well. Like when you're doing your research, if you plan to have a family or you plan to buy a property, check that out as well before you move. Because, if you're moving in your mid to late 20s or early 30s, and that is becoming part of your next life stage, is, settling down, understanding how easy it is as a, non-local to purchase a property or have a child and what that means in terms of visa rights and things is always very useful to do that bit of research, as you never know what's going to happen. So having that in your kind of mind should help inform your decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Super important. Check that. And also, it depends on your age. People that they are moving with the parents, for example, and when you don't want to get to learn another language, for example, because you say it's fine, or you are not able to work. Different kind of factors. Yeah.
Amazing. And I guess, would you do it again if you could?
Yes, I will do it again. I will do it again. As I said, I will do different things, but I will do it again because I love traveling and I love to have different kind of experiences, meet people from different contexts, culture, learn. And also I love help people. Then I love that when I have the opportunity to teach, to exchange knowledge and everything. Yeah.
Also, you wouldn't have met your husband, I guess, if you had.
Yeah.
Quite a big reason.
Yeah.
Well, you just say that to him, so he's happy.
Of course.
Wonderful. Is there any other thing that kind of stands out for you in terms of kind of a recap of your time? What should be your favorite Swedish saying, for instance? Do you have a favorite Swedish expression?
I don't know. Lagom. This typical lagom.
Lagom.
You know what is, what
I think it was the Goldilocks of expressions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not quite, it's just right. So.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. And I like also because it shows that also they want to be humble. And then I like that. And then always about equality or something. Then I like that. I think that is good. And fika.
Yeah, of course, fika.
Of course. Yeah, fika.
What is your favorite place to do a fika in the city? Do you have a spot that people should visit?
No, actually, I like to go for fika with friends, home or when I have the opportunity. Of course, I go to Espresso House.
The Starbucks of Sweden.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Kanelbullar and yeah.
I mean, Haga is what I tend to try and go.
Yeah.
Especially when I have friends visiting as well, because it's quite a nice place to visit. And it's the home of cozy shopping and something, a coffee as well.
Yes.
Brilliant. So thank you, Monica, for your time. I really appreciate you kind of spending an hour or so with me and sharing your experiences of all the amazing places you've lived and the amazing knowledge you have of each place, and obviously the learning about the amazing work you do with people who are struggling and in difficult situations and helping them find new opportunities and getting their life in a way which is somewhat comfortable. I know it can't be easy, but it's very important that we obviously talk about it, but acknowledge it. And without people like you, it would be a much worse place for a lot of people. So it's very interesting to understand that. And I applaud the work you do. And also, with that, do you want to share a bit more about Move to Gothenburg?
Yeah, thank you so much, James. I am so happy. Thank you for inviting me. Yes, I would like to share a little bit this opportunity that you have to move to Gothenburg. This is a special project from Business Region, and you have the website, and you can check the different kind of sections where you can find information, useful information about education, health, employment, how to find yourself in Sweden, for example, which kind of places you can visit. And of course, you have International House Gothenburg. That is a place for international talents. Then you can visit us here. Then you are welcome to move to Gothenburg.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. And as always, if you found anything interesting or useful in this podcast, please let us know in the comments, and please share with your friends, and really spread the word so people can listen to the amazing advice that Monica shared with us. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you next time, the Expat Pod.